In the beginning, there was White Sunday. I was a White Sunday star. A personal thing for me was when I got into comedy. I felt it at my fingertips and I was like, oh, I could maybe do it. Because you see people make a living out of it, but you're like, oh, it can't be me. A lot of great things came from people telling me no. People even thought the backyard was like a silly idea, like a throwaway idea. And then that showed them, and next minute they were asking to be on it. I love Brotown. I grew up on Brotown, and that whole convo about Brotown because of the stereotypes and all of that. And I'm like, nah, I said that's my uncle, those are my cousins. Like, those aren't your stories to share, but if people have those stories, they should be allowed to share it. There's a lot of barriers with being a female in the game because I'm over the victim mentality and I'm over everyone feeling sorry for people that look like my family. They're like feeling sorry for like window washers. They just looked at them in a really yuck way, like we need to help them. And that really messed me up because I saw
Mandate. Hi everyone, if you are enjoying the content and the guests that are on the podcast and you're wanting more, then please do us a favor. If you can just press the subscribe button, that would be an amazing help for us. But also, just want to mention an amazing organization called AOK, who sponsors the Mandate podcast. And so they are an organization that runs suicide prevention, intervention, and wellbeing programs. And so AOK stands for Acts of Kindness. And so you didn't need me to tell you about the alarmingly high rates of suicide in our nation, especially amongst our rangatahi, our young people, even our tāne, our men. And so if you're wanting to stand in the gap and you want to be well trained and well equipped to have these courageous life supporting conversations, then please check them out, aok.nz. If you're a business, a company or a collective, or even as an individual, check them out, www.aok.nz. You could very well be that one person to help save a life. Welcome to Mandate, where we navigate fresh perspectives and nothing is off the table. Tonight's guest is from Tāmaki Makaurau, from South Okilani, 275 Mangere or Mangele. And so she happens to be an amazing individual, but also a well-known TV personality. And so she's also an actress and also a stand-up comedian. And so you recognize her on a movie called Mama's Music Box.
oh,
You also know her on TV films such as SIS, Double Park, and also Duck Rockers, just to name a few. But she's more than just a comedian and an actor. She's also a writer as well. She's offered an internship writing for Shortland Street as well. But also, more than just that, she's also the face of Turner's Cars. So you recognize her as Tina from Turner's. But please put your hands together for an amazing individual who has an amazing story to share, for Sheni Leo'o Olo, aka Bubbah!
you're stalking me. How did you know that?
Hey, we're gonna do some homework before you come in. But Bubbah, thank you so much. Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
No, thank you for coming. Obviously, you're well known. Obviously, people know you in social media platforms and content creator, acting, writing. Obviously, of Tina from Turner's. But I just want to know, from you and from the actual person themselves, what inspired you? What inspired you to get into acting, comedy? But also, where did you get your start in terms of being in the industry? How did it all pan out for you in the beginning?
In the beginning, there was White Sunday, and I was a star. I was a White Sunday star. I love White Sunday. That was probably my first performances. I think every Islander's first performances. And then I'm a Massive kid, so I got into Massive. I watched The Brave, and then signed up for workshops, and then ended up joining. Yeah, so what did we do in Massive?
What is Massive?
Massive is a theatre company for emerging artists and professionals, and they do a good job at kind of mixing them around so that the professionals are mentoring the young ones, and then when we grow up, we do the same thing. But then we're also being trained constantly. And at Massive, you get trained like an athlete. So you walk in and it's muscle and bone, and it's like boxing and full-on training, yo. It's discipline. Which I think was good for me as a 16-year-old to walk into, and because I was an Ulavale kid, I think that was good for me to have that discipline. Like I wasn't getting disciplined at home. I have the worst hidings. I don't know why I'm acting like I had no discipline. I had discipline, but it was
Different type.
It was like honing and creating that kind of discipline. Yeah, that's where I started. Massive, I think.
But what's in the water with Massive? Because it seems like a lot of a lot of great actors have come out of there. Like you got Beulah, and you had Theo, yourself, and then we had it just recently. He came up
Samson.
from Samson Rambo. So what is it about Massive that produces all these amazing actors?
Oh man, it's Sam Scott. She's the bomb. Like she's got these. She will call, like, if we're feeling sorry for ourselves, she's like, it's no Salvation Army. You either choose to be great or you're not going to bring great work. So we always chose to be great. It was, no one felt sorry for you. There's no Salvation Army, and also love to pretend. Because if you don't love to pretend, then you're in the wrong place. It was just like this thing I walked into, and they were like, okay, playing old music and then telling you to lip sync. And then you just start lip syncing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this person that's like writing the song. This, like, my favorite lip sync is that, and I am telling you. Because I'm like, and I am telling you.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like a lot of pain, and you just like end up lip syncing the whole song, and not in a funny way, not laughing at yourself. You like become her. And that was, I just fell in love with it. Yeah. Massive is just like this like weirdo playground for weirdos.
So but when did you know? Because some people like they go there and then they pursue to be actors or an actress, performer, and some people might not necessarily be really good at it. But when did you know for you, when like this is, oh man, I'm actually really good at this? Besides White Sunday, when you're like, I can actually make a living out of this.
I think when I got into comedy, I think with Massive, I was always like, I want to be an actor, and it was always a dream. And I think, and it gave me so many opportunities and like opened me up to so many things. And a personal thing for me was when I got into comedy, I like felt it at the tip of my, or like at my fingertips, and I was like, oh, I could maybe do it. Because I just loved it so much. And you see people make a living out of it, but you're like, oh, it can't be me. And then I got close, and then I just kept going, and now I'm here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What did you love? What did you love about comedy? Because comedy is the creating the content, it's preparing, it's then having the audience, and then there's the risk that they don't laugh. Like, what is it about the comedy? Or they absolutely love you. What is it about comedy that you got really, that drew you in?
Man, I think for me, it's the process of like putting together a show, like because I and my family so many times have walked in on me as I will close all the curtains, turn off all the lights, and blast music so that no one can hear me, and I'll talk over it, and so they'll like open the door, and I'm fully talking to someone, but no one's there. I'm surprised they didn't drug test me, because there are some times like my cousin would open the door and I'm like on the floor pretending to be like this chick, and yeah, I'm surprised.
Is that one of the characters that you created for your stage presentation?
No, some of it are throwaways. Like sometimes that's just how I get in the zone.
It's like Mexico.
Yeah, I just like straight away. Yeah,
so
you just
cool.
get into it. That's my favorite part of it, is the whole making of it. And the first time that I did it, I was backstage like, why did I do this? Like, oh my God. And I was panicking, and my friends, my theater friends, Massive friends, were like, don't worry, like, you got the show. The worst thing that can happen is no one laughs. And so once I accepted that, I was like, oh yeah. And then the curtains opened, and then the audience was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I got me Mika. And then it just like rolled from there. And I just fell in love with it. Like, I didn't even stick to my script. I just like,
really?
I just went here and there and everywhere. And by the end, I was like, I love this so much.
How long had you practiced in your room under those conditions of being in that loud music on the floor playing those characters? Like, how long had you practiced before that moment?
My friends will tell you that it was not long, and so we all had a panic together. Literally like the week before, because I procrastinated, and I was doing all of that, but that's just me like playing around, and I didn't really like put anything together. I was just playing around. And so they were like, show us what you've been playing with. And it was just a lot of bits and bobs and nothing solid. And then, yeah, I performed it to them, all my little bits and bobs, and they were like, okay, we like this, 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 and this. And then I was like, okay, I'll work on those 4 things. And then those pieces grew.
And did you use all of it, or did you just end up using other stuff?
I used those 4 things and made them bigger. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how to explain that. It was like, there was a thing about me, like my first time buying, can I talk about that with my con? Yes, I can. One of the first things was, the first times that oh my gosh, hello, English. When I first bought weed.
Yeah.
So that was the piece, was when I first bought weed, and I like felt like I had to prepare like a gangster. And I was telling them about that, and then from that a piece was born where 8 Mile plays, and I start skipping and I start prepping and start window washing and start like getting myself into this character to go and buy weed for the first time. And it hit really well, but that just came off me talking about the first time that I bought weed. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's the fun thing about making, is it was a story.
Yeah.
And then by the end I was using no words and it was a song playing.
So you were just acting it out?
Just acting out, like skipping and becoming a gangster in my head. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's the cool thing about making.
About making
you guys are like, you're weird.
No. I think it's cool.
When you say making, that's the process of producing
the
the content. And for you, that's how you did it. It was just sitting there and it was just all playing in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
not
then
weird
to bring
at
it
all.
out, yeah.
And then when it was lights on, audience there, boom.
Yeah. And they love that.
That's cool. And that would have just amped you on more to keep going.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because all the stories, I was like, oh yeah, I get this. But then, of course, we spoke about this where it was quite Balangi.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where's my people?
Yeah.
And then that's when my whole path changed to backyard shows and all of that.
Well, tell us about that, because you said obviously you showed a photo on your phone, the backyard comedy. Tell us how that all kind of.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it, and how did it start?
It started by me doing comedy over in the city, and having a Balangi audience, and like even producers of the comedy fest were trying to help us get brown audiences in, but it wasn't hitting. And I just figured out, I was like, yeah, because probably I wouldn't listen to a Balangi if they told me to come to it. Like, if they were telling me to come, I would be like, nah, I don't know that, and I'm not going to risk it. So then I just chucked up a show in my backyard. But first, because I was a naughty kid and my mum was like fed up with me, and then I wasn't at home that time. I was on vacation. I was on vacation, and then I came back and was like, Mum, let me use the backyard. And she did. And then South Auckland shut down the streets, man. I was standing in my living room and I could see people walking up, and I was like, cool. And then I saw more people walking up and more people walking up and more people walking up. And it ended up being like, we head counted, it was like 230 people for the very first show. Yeah.
Are we able to showcase that photo later on?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And then from then on, I was like, oh yeah, you guys want it. I want to do it. Let's make this a thing.
Did you market that? Did you promote it? Or how do you do something like that? And I'm talking, because you're right, there's probably a whole heap of people who are wanting to get out there but are just finding it hard, or they find it like it's not a fit. And doing it in the back of your house is a whole nother thing. So did you market it? Did you promote it? Or how did that all come together?
So, oh man, I got to take you back.
Take us back.
So I was doing comedy, and then I had to drop everything arts, because I'm someone and I wasn't pulling my weight in the family financially. So I got a job. And then, and it was like years of working. I was always writing things down on like napkins and stuff. And I just think I wasn't like living fully, like as myself. And I was being really naughty, like outside of it. Like I was being ula wale, and I think that was just because I was getting that energy.
What does ula wale
energy out?
I'll talk about that later.
Like just like being a little ula wale guy. And then someone hit me up from Te Oro, an old friend from Massive, was like, do you want to put up a show? We have a space. So I chucked up a solo show like in like 2 weeks over there. And on the opening night, I was like, I quit my job and then was like, I'm going to get into this. And then they were also like, how do you get more brown people into these seats? And they said something that stuck with me was they said, how can they go and buy a box and not come and support your show? And then I was like, okay, you guys are out of touch with us because I myself would buy a box over coming to a theatre show. Like the theatre does not invite us. There's not, and the theatre doesn't invite us because when there's a whole heap of us in there, everyone's like, whoa, look at like all the brown people came, and it's like really weird. And so, yeah, then I stepped away from it and then got into comedy and did that whole thing, did the backyard show. What was your question?
Like, did you, because you were going to take us back to how you ended up here. And so you were at the Te Oro, they invited you there, they posed this question, which is, I mean, yeah, that you're absolutely right. You've highlighted a really important issue here. Yeah. That we like comedy. We do, but where it's placed and located is going to make the difference around whether we rock up or not. And so you're picking up that in those places we don't come, we'd prefer to spend that $10-15 on something else, whether it's a box or food or whatever, but you're saying they're not going to come here. Yes.
And then that's when I realized my market is not one that you guys are looking out for, like truly, like if you're going to judge them like that. And that's also me. You're just my friend because I'm putting together the show, but that's my family. And I was just like, if the window washers can't come, I don't want to come. And so then I started posting online, and like I would go up to people on the street, and then I handed out flat flyers, and I'd post videos online and be like, I got a show. And I did that like the week before, and then just people came. Yeah. I don't think I did much in the marketing except hand out flyers.
Hey, that's marketing. Yeah. That's marketing at its finest.
That's crazy. Like even if you didn't do much marketing, but the proof's in the pudding. Man, 200. Would you say 230 people came to your house, your backyard?
Yeah.
So they're more comfortable coming to the back of your house to watch your show than to go to a theatre, sit in those comfortable seats and watch you perform in a box, kind of, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah. And I mean, like gangsters dudes came and they were like at the back with their legs up, like, and their bottles. Like there's like, yeah, gangster dudes, right? And I'm like, yeah, too cool, but you still came, so I'm happy.
How long was your set?
It was like, it ended up being like an hour and a half.
What?
Yeah.
Did you prep all that, or again, was it just, it sounds like to me, you're quite intuitive. Like when you deliver stuff, it's not staged, it's just go with where the crowd is.
Yeah. I kind of just showed up.
So did you have a mic and speaker, or did you just?
Yeah, mic and speaker.
Bro.
Oh, you're the man.
Yeah. No, hard up. No, I'm just, when you showed that photo, I was like, nah. How could who does this? Like,
and you did that as well because you knew this is how you get brown people to the show, because that's what the lady, or was it a lady or a guy who said that? How do you get brown people?
It was a guy, yeah.
And so like, if you're like, firstly, tear your building down, and take this to the back of my house.
Yeah, that stuck with me.
Bubbah, you just
far out. And what was the feedback? How were, like, did you see? It sounds like to me, there were just, people didn't see any barriers coming. I mean, it's the back of your house. Like, there's some issues around that too, eh? There could be, because it's your house.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But they still comfortably came in. Did you know all of them or not?
No. Yeah. And this guy at the end, like, had a motorbike, and he was like, vroom, vroom, vroom. I was like, oh, I made it. Oh my gosh, I made it. It felt so good.
What did your mum say?
Oh, they loved it. They loved it.
Were they laughing?
Yeah.
Like, what was their reaction?
They already know me, so they're just like, Bubbah's doing her thing. She's doing one of her things again. So they.
Had you done stuff like that before?
Nah, but I'm the black sheep.
What does that mean?
So I'm a little, I don't know. Whatever their answer is, like they say go right, I go left.
Are you the youngest, Bubbah, or no?
I am the oldest.
Are you? How many siblings?
I have 4 sisters.
Oh my gosh. So you're the one they all look up to.
They look down on me. But at least they learn from that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So what's the driver behind, behind you doing things different?
I just didn't want to do that one. I just didn't want to do I didn't want to be over there. I was just like, man, why am I not having fun when I was performing in the city? I was like, I felt like I was just getting away with it. I was making shows and they're going mean. But like, I was getting away with making lazy shows as well.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have anyone brown in there. I could like kind of be a little bit lazy because I was filling that quota for them.
Mm.
But then here, or like far Southside, it's like, they'll tell you the truth. You know, Islanders, we tell the truth if it's funny or not. And so I had to like bring my A game when I started performing in front of them. And it just, the drivers like the night, I don't know. I tell everyone not to have their phones on. They're not allowed to record. They just have to live in it for one night.
Yeah.
And then gap it after. And it's just a night that happened. So it's kind of just for fun. My driver's fun.
Cool. Because it sounds like to me, like if it doesn't feel good, why do it? Or if it doesn't give you the fulfillment that you're looking for.
Bro, I was slaving over there trying to become a comedian.
Yeah.
And then I brought it back home. And we're community-based, you know. The community comes through.
Yeah.
Man.
I think that's it. Just community and family and, like, laughs. Yeah.
It sounds like it. It sounds like that is. Sounds like that's the real purpose. So I'm really interested because you called yourself a star at White Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Right from the get-go, you knew the limelight is yours. So what was, what was that, what were some of the things that you did and what kind of gave you that, would you say it was like a rush or like just like, I don't know, you guys love doing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, I do. I love.
Yeah, it's just like you enjoy the work. So yeah, White Sunday, my whaiwhiao actually put me in charge a few times of doing the items. So I'd take the youth and I'd take them through like breathing exercises and then like really get them into the zone and then say like, I would make them bring their own stories, and so then we would work off their stories. I basically was doing theatre workshops in White Sunday, and then our items were so good that even the whaiwhiao would ask us to perform it at Combine.
Which church were you at?
Door of Hope City Church.
Oh, did you go Central?
No, it's in Southside. It's Sulialoli'i is the shout out to Sulialoli'i, my pastor.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
And were you teaching all that theatre sports because you learnt that at Massive or was just stuff?
Yeah, I learned that at Massive, but then teaching them, I was like, if you guys get into it, like we could really perform something really mean. and they did, and because it was their stories, they loved sharing it.
Yeah, that's cool. But before that, you knew you were a star.
Yeah, because I always would. I just knew all my lines to everything. I knew the skits inside out. I would have solos.
And you loved it.
I would like ask for the solos.
Did you?
Far out. That's crazy.
I just love it.
And it's good that you did. So would you describe yourself as a young person, just that real bubbly, confident?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it's almost like you would you say any time you sort of felt like there was a little bit of a ceiling on you or some barriers put around you that probably would have just frustrated you, because you just seem like you're quite a big personality, which is cool. And you need the space to be able to do your thing. And if you don't do your thing, that that must feel like suffocating.
Yeah. That's ooh. Yeah, that's even the COVID lockdown. It's like everything that I think a lot of great things came from people telling me no. And me going, bro, you wait. Like, no, I'm not taking that. Because, people even thought the backyard was like a silly idea, like a throwaway idea. And then that showed them, and next minute they were asking to be on it. So I think there's a lot of barriers with being a female in the game, because the main thing that I encounter in the city industry is men coming up to me and being like, "Oh, you'll be all good, don't worry. You'll be fine. Like backstage, don't worry about it. It'll be good." And I'm like, I know. I didn't ask. They underestimate you because you're female, and then but the best thing is to go on and kill it and turn around and be like, "Oh, I was better than you."
There's nothing wrong with that. I reckon that's you need to have that sense of confidence, eh?
Yeah.
And you need to, especially when you're in a real male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
And it's all eyes on you, like all eyes on you when you're delivering.
I don't think there's any Samoan girls in there yet.
No, I can't think of any. Can you?
Right now?
Comedians, stand
Comedians? I don't know one. I think I'm sure you know her as well. Rose Mata.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But she's in the UK now, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Rose.
Is she from South Auckland as well?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think I could be wrong, but I think she might be Westie Central. Well, I don't know. I could be wrong. But but just going back to what you're saying, because I know it can be.
Yeah, you have to lead this conversation because I'll go like over there.
Oh no! That's fine. That's fine. You're all good, Bubbah. But because I've heard it before. That's not the first time, but other comedians have come on and said the same thing, like, oh, you know, sometimes, and it seems quite controversial that, oh, this is kind of more of a, when I went to the city, is more of the Balangi kind of feel. And you mentioned a bit of a quota, I'm the only brown person, female comedian, and these comedians come, oh, you need to do this. But what's the industry? Is that the case? Because people might think, oh, maybe that's just Bubbah's interpretation. But how did you feel when you were in that space, when it was kind of more of the Balangi comedians? Did it just feel like, or was it like?
I felt no banter.
Yeah.
I felt no banter. Like I was like, it's mean to be here, but I can't banter properly here.
What do you mean by that?
Like, if you put me in a room with someone's,
you're
easily, I'm like, okay, your weight, your height, like, we roast each other. But then the room of Balangis, and their ideas are so different. Like, we roast and we love you, and we don't know how to compliment you. We just roast you, you know? Where Balangis, roasting comes off as mean to them. And so, like...
Did you try?
Oh, yeah. But... Like,
what happened?
And then they're all crying. No. It's like... I was like, oh, wait, you don't get that. I'm kidding. And so then that's when I was like,
what did you say to them?
Nah, like, it's all good. Everything's fine.
Hey.
Did you do that? You're not funny.
I just knew I couldn't banter. You know when you can't banter, and it's a room you're able to be in, but it's not a room you can play in. It's like, yeah, if I was to put you with some Balangis, you know, would you be able to banter how you normally do with your boys?
I'd probably try, like, you know what your limits are with different generations, different ethnicities and genders, and then even from different parts of New Zealand.
Yeah.
You know, there's some limits. Like, there's some things that only stay in South Auckland.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't take that down to Christchurch because they'll just be like, hey. And then you kind of have to try and figure out, like, what are their limits so that you can still have that banter.
Yeah.
But within limits.
So you're not, like, lying. Hey, you're, like, being yourself. So you have to, like, adjust your banter.
Yeah.
But I love when you're just free. Like, I love being free in banter. Like,
like no limits.
Like lekker,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, gangi.
Yeah, no, straight up. I did Taskmaster for Tofinga. Tofinga, he's got an episode coming up where he's like, he was texting me, but he didn't know it was me. He has to figure out who it is. And I was like, hey, fatty. And everyone behind the camera was like, because they're all piling and I'm like, it's funny, he knows me. Like, you know, like, that's the way. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah. So just to clarify, because what I'm hearing is that you went into an industry that it wasn't that you noticed that you were just like the minority because of your gender or because of your ethnicity. It's just that you notice a difference because the banter wasn't there.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Because don't get me wrong, I love Balangis. Like,
Yeah,
harder,
that's what I'm hearing.
harder.
What I'm
Cool.
hearing is that it's not an ethnic thing.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm the only Samoan in the group, because I kind of get sick of hearing that.
yeah.
Like I kind of get sick of hearing.
Yes.
It gets. What do you reckon?
So yes, I'm on the same boat.
Yeah, I get sick of hearing that whole, I'm the only Pacific Islander that's in this workplace, or I'm the only Pacific Islander in this thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that fighting, it's a strong thing in the industry right now to fight one way, to be like, we're brown, stick together, get rid of them. I'm like, how can we condemn them if we haven't told them what they've done wrong? Ooh. You know, like it's easy to be like, hey man, we don't wear shoes in this house. Hey man, like to teach them, because then we're doing exactly what they did to us, to them. And I love hearing islanders, you know, go on about brown rights on stolen land. I'm like, choose the main issue for me. We all should be saying sorry to the Māoris. So all of those issues don't even matter to me, being the only Samoan in the room, where I'm like, I'm grateful. I'm here on stolen land. Like, that's, yeah, I've pushed boundaries on stolen land still. So I don't, sometimes people don't agree with me because I don't fight the way that they would like me to fight.
Yeah.
But I wasn't raised around hate, or like, you know, like my grandparents and my uncles, I was raised by like really strong men who have always taught me to like love through situations, and also sometimes like not to project my own stuff. Like sometimes if I'm losing, I shouldn't take it out on other people. So yeah, even as a brown person, my losses as a brown person, I don't think have been losses. I think I've like learned from them and taken them as fuel and been like, bro, use weight. Yeah, use weight, bro.
That's cool. That's cool. And I absolutely hear that you are just discovering that in some spaces the banter's not there. It's like, come on, man, I need this. I need this. And there could be, there could be Samoans across the country that you come across, and that you could be feeling the same thing. Like, bro, where's the banter?
Yeah, hello. But also we can lead that, because like we're Samoan. We're like the funniest people. Like, God made us Samoan. That's so cool. Like, that's our superpower, I think. It's never our disability or anything. No. So I never cry about it.
Yeah. What is your view around how Samoans fit in this bicultural country?
I think that we can own it, as long as we're not teaching the next gen to cry about it. Like, I will never tell my sisters, this is what they're doing to you, so, you know, like, to cry about this. Like, oh, and this is, like, really weird, but sometimes there's racist people in the industry. I'm like, I don't even care, buddy. Like, I'm going home after this, like, to a family that loves me. Who cares? Yeah. So I don't let them get in my way ever.
Yeah, you don't let them get under your skin.
No, I think it's, like, really bad to teach people to let that get under your skin.
Yeah, yeah.
Well said. Well said. Very, very cleverly said.
Did I drop a gem?
Hard out, Bubbah. Just, it is. And I think I've come to the conclusion that a lot of comedians and actors, but more so these comedians, very highly intelligent. And what you said, just... But it is, I'm not just like smoke, but it is like what you said, because people could use like, oh no, she's going to use the race card on this and that, and then you're going to be victimized and all that. But no, I love it. You said, no, I'm not a victim. Wherever I am, if I'm only Samoan, I stake my flag there and say, hey, I'm proud.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's why you're so loved and liked, because you can be in the Palangi space, you can be in the Māori space, you can be in the Pacifica space, and you're still Bubbah. You know, and so I think that's why people are like, oh yeah, because this is Bubbah. This is Bubbah. This is what you get is what you see, and I think that's why it makes you so adaptable, but also loved. And so that's cool.
Thank you.
I love
that's so nice.
No, harder. I mean that because people take it take it to the one extreme and say, oh no, because I don't like it because I was an islander there, and I didn't feel right because they were judging me. But I don't hear any of that. I just say, hey, this is who I am, and I'll push through. If you're racist, I don't give a damn. I just keep doing my thing. But also, in the same token, how do you feel your work has, or your comedy, and even in the acting, whatever it is, has broken down the stereotypes and also to open up the conversations to have around your industry?
Ooh.
Just in case people think, oh, like you said, maybe on the flip side, oh, yeah, this is the island way of doing it. But what have you done in terms of, or how do you feel your work has broken stereotypes?
I don't think that it's broken stereotypes. I think it's brought light to, because my whole family, like I have so many friends and family that are mean stereotypes or that fit the bill. And so coming in, and the brown industry is like, we gotta like, you know, change their minds on the, or like change, we gotta not be those stereotypes. And I'm like, no, you gotta teach them how to treat those stereotypes, because they're not, like, I'm not gonna go and tell my cousin to change for you. Yeah, so I think it's brought light, because I also bring those characters into my work, is I show those characters and I celebrate them. Like the show that was in my backyard, that very first one was supposed to be called Surviving South Auckland. But as I was writing it, I was like, what is there to survive? You know, it's South Auckland's the bomb. And so I called it my ode to South Auckland. But that was while I was writing it, because the characters that I was bringing, I was like, man, they're mean. Yeah, they are the potheads. And yeah, they are these guys. They're like the stereotypes to a T, but we should celebrate them. And if you can love them in your family, you know, like, why would I go out there and fight against them? Yeah, I don't think I'm here to break stereotypes. I think anyone can be.
You're here to capitalize on it.
Yeah, hey, I'm making money. And
what's wrong with that? I mean, if it's a stereotype that sells, why not? And I think, you know, there's so much, and the thing is, the media have taken it on a different route. And so what you're doing is you're like, no, give it back.
Yeah.
Give it back, and I'm going to make some money off it, but also put it out there in a different light. And I think that's a really good thing. I think that's what we need to do, is embrace our stereotypes, and actually, this is what makes us who we are. This is what you said gives you that superpower.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Because then we're just like colonizing ourselves. It's so bad, eh? It's really bad, eh? I'm like, I better stay away from that convo, because I don't want to be with it. Like,
yeah. I love how you embrace that, and I think it's important for us to show how to do that, because too many of us are shying away by what media say about Pacific peoples, or what they say about Samoans, or what they say about Samoans from South Auckland, or from Otara, or from Angirewa, whatever. You know, there's too much of that going on that kind of almost puts barriers up for people. And so what you're doing is like, no, this is what makes us who we are, and this is what makes us thrive. This is what gives us our opportunities. And if anything, in a world where there's so much of that happening, you know, from a bicultural perspective, you know, we sit in a space where we can play around in different fields. We can go over here and do the Māori thing, we can go over there and do the Pakeha thing, we can come over here, do the Samoan-born thing, the New Zealand-born thing, and in a way that really benefits us, because we have such a wide view.
yeah.
And you're bringing that on stage in your sets, in your comedy. Oh,
Yeah, wait, you've like talked it up, but if you come to a show, it's just like Valia. So I might need you to pull back on that.
Okay, you pull back on it.
You guys are saying all this, you haven't seen a show.
I think I've seen a couple of your stuff on online.
Online, I've seen some stuff
Yeah,
online.
and I thought that was pretty good. Oh, that was pretty awesome. And so, thanks for that.
Bring it back down.
You're 28. I reckon in a couple of years you're going to take it there. You still got plenty of opportunity to shape this narrative.
But also the same token as well, Bubbah, because in the industry that you're in, I know it can be quite challenging, the comedy. And I just want to know, because people always think comedians always laughing, happy, and I can imagine the energy can be life-sapping. sometimes. But tell us, they've been obviously they must have been told like, oh man, this sucks. Comedy is not funny. I'm finding it hard. Have there been some real challenging times thus far in your career thus far?
Oh, yeah, and it's off that whole brown convo again. So I was part of a show that was like really, it was promoted as this is all for brown people, we're celebrating people, it's all of these things. And I was gutted because I knew behind the scenes that wasn't the case. It was like really ugly. It was a really ugly, how do you say that word? Like this way of working. It was swearing at people and swearing at each other and like everyone getting angry at each other and dramas. Like it was really bad. I was never in it because I was always like, guys, I'm just here for the money. Like, do not involve me in that. Like,
Yeah.
But then it was promoted as like this brown thing, and it was also enforcing those ideas of like we're brown victim mentality, and that really messed me up in my head because I was like, my family was proud of me for finally getting something, but they didn't know that I was having a bad time for the rights that they thought we were fighting for brown people and all of these things, but that's not what was happening. And so I felt like I was lying to everyone. It just put me in a weird headspace of like that brown victim mentality fed a movement that wasn't honest. Like, so they were saying, how do I say it around the show?
Yeah.
How do I say that around it? There was a show that started some drama with one of New Zealand's big companies, big media companies, and they had started a whole riot and got a lot of brown people involved that aren't in the industry, just a lot of brown people. They got them in their little protest against that media company, and it became a race thing when they didn't know that the whole time the production was not based on what they were promoting. And when I saw that and people being like proud of me for being a part of this thing, that I didn't come forward and say, no, they're not treating people right and they're not looking at you guys properly. How's that? You can just cut this out, but I can tell you this. I'll tell you the story.
This is cool.
Yeah, it was a weird, I guess I've had a time where I've just thought, man, I'm over the victim mentality and I'm over everyone feeling sorry for people that look like my family. Like they're like feeling sorry for like window washers and like all of that. They just looked at them in a really yuck way, like we need to help them.
Yeah.
Like they were like homeless people with like no legs and no arms, you know, like they don't celebrate them. And that really messed me up because I saw the way that the whole world can move and follow that brown victim mentality.
Yeah.
And it scared me because then they'd be changing the window washers and they would work to change people that I knew. And so that was probably my only dark time. It's not even that dark. Like, I guess, let me start again.
But that kind of goes against.
Does that make sense?
It goes against how you view life. Hey, and then was it brown people that was?
It was brown people
creating that whole narrative, or creating that whole sort of like movement.
Yeah,
that people were mistreating.
I'll say
them.
it. Yeah. I'll say it here, but you can cut this out because I can't contractually say it.
Yeah.
But it was.
Yeah.
So made a whole. You can record it. So you just can laugh at it after. So it was a really bad show that the director was really mean. Like she got in. Oh fuck! She made us work with these kids, and got the kids to bring out their like sexual traumas. Like it was like it got really bad. So she was like, "This is how you act sad. Is you tell me a moment where you've been taken advantage of, blah blah blah, like all of this stuff." And it was leading towards like sexual trauma. And then the girl was like, "Yeah, there was a time that this happened to me." And then the director was like, okay, Bubbah, step in and act with her. And I was like,
Oh.
yo, you can't teach her to do that. Like, the actor really loved the victim stuff, so she always brought out like sexual, like, you know, rape things, and like a whole bunch of like, if people are secretly gay, like always pulled out that stuff. And then so a lot of the cast and crew trusted her with their secrets of like, I've been raped, blah blah. And then it flipped when she got angry at them, and she would use it against them. She would be like, you're not working properly because you're still caught in that moment, that blah blah blah. Or like bad stuff happened on that set, like so bad, people walked off, like people got heated, they would have dramas every day.
Yeah.
It was so ugly to see, like, because I was new. That was my first time. I was like, yo, so I'm probably not going to come back.
Oh, my goodness.
But I had to stay on it because I was one of the leads. So I was stuck there, like, my contract, like, but I was like, yo, I don't think, like, should we tell someone? But the whole cast and crew didn't speak out because that was the first time brown people got money from Comedy Central. That was the first funding that went to a brown production.
Yeah.
And that's what happened on
Gosh.
that whole, like,
Unsafe.
and they had dramas every day. We had to have a meeting in the morning, like, and we had to do prayers and stuff.
God, how long did that go for?
That was a 6-week shoot. And so I just started being like, is it all right if I leave the room and you guys have your dramas? And so I would like fully leave the room and they would all have dramas.
Yeah.
It was the worst working environment I've ever been in, and it was brown people that did that. And then again,
So it's like they exploited them. Eh?
they exploited them bad. It was so bad. Like, I felt
It was our own doing it to our own.
it was our own doing it to our own. That was the worst thing.
You know what? And that's where I think we see a lot of that discrimination is in our own.
Yeah.
Bro,
I bought a puppy because of that. Because I was just like, man, my family's like sending me off happy as, proud, and I'm coming to this.
yeah.
And then everyone's like, look at what you guys are doing for brown people. And I'm like, I think we should speak out and say, like, it's not going good.
Yeah.
But because we don't have many brown people in that space, I was like in jail. I was held because I couldn't speak out against them.
Man, Bubbah.
Yo, but I went to like Beulah and them, and I just like was like,
weird.
am I crazy?
Yeah.
And I ended up like crying. I was like, oh, I'm stuck. Like, I have to
Yeah.
watch that every day.
Because what was the premise? What was the whole purpose around?
It was based on white people, a white writer trying to take over brown stories, which is exactly what happened in that whole show. Like, the way that the white people were treating the brown people was exactly how we were treating our own. But I've always wanted to come out and be like, I hated it. Wait, I know. I've always wanted to come out and be like, I hated that show. It was so bad. But because of the money thing, like, I think they got $2 million. That was the first load of money from Comedy Central. And so we couldn't say we were having a bad time.
Yeah.
Because it might ruin the chance for the next brown people.
You know what's so sad? Songwriters.
Okay, we can go back, cut it back in. We can just like randomly cut through this part.
No, but I reckon with that bit, we can just go.
Just beep it out.
Yeah, just beep it
Just
out.
take out the name.
Yeah, just beep
Just-
that out. eh?
it's just-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we just continue with this. Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah, I don't
eh?
mind, yeah.
Because what you've highlighted
Oh,
there,
yeah, I'm calling it out. Yeah.
because what you're highlighting there is, what do you call it when you're it's like you're like a quiet accomplice, to a massive
Yeah.
crime. And I think as Pacific people, like for some reason in our own communities, when we see another Pasifika person do something that is wrong,
Yeah.
or is an exploitation of our own people, we don't say anything because we're like, I don't want to be the one that like blows the cover here, and then everyone looks at you like, oh, you did that, not just that person, but you did that to all of our people, and you just don't want to carry that. I get it.
Yeah, it was so bad. Yeah. So that's probably the one of the darkest times because media is so important. Like, media is like, we follow the media, you know, like the media provokes thoughts for us. And so we, you know, sometimes accidentally just follow the thoughts and we don't think anywhere else. We just go with that. And I was like, if you follow that train of thought, man, people are going down. Like, that's, if we keep
For the rabbit hole lane.
Yeah.
So how do you protect that part of us that continually questions that? Because you're right. You're so right. because it's our community, because it's our Pasifika peoples, like we don't want to go against the grain, because we don't want to, we don't want to go against the grain. But on the other hand, what you're saying is we don't even realize when we're going that way. So how do we protect ourselves? Like how do we, especially with this generation that's coming up with heaps of podcasts and heaps of media and so much in front of them, how do you, because I can see, you say you're all a value, you say you're a rebel, but you're also very grounded in who you are and what you like and what you don't like and what you see is right and what you see is wrong. And I think that's cool. How do you protect that?
I was raised by really great men.
Yeah.
So I could never get into the feminist movement because I was like, I was raised by great men. And they've always grounded me. And even now, they'll be like, you sold out. That was dry. They're like, you sold out for that job. And I'm like, oh, yes.
So they'll call you out. They still call you out. Who are these men? Tell us about them.
Oh, my uncles. So me, fatherless. However, at some point, yeah. He's still at the shop. However, I had my grandpa and my stepdad, who just became my dad, and then my uncles, my two uncles, and all my uncles in my extended family were like all really close, but they've always had a strong hand. And because I, was fatherless, I was a pass-around baby, and I was the oldest, so they all trialed with me, babysitting, and they just raised me. They always keep me straight. Like, even today, my uncle told me, Bubbah, even the greats lose. Like, even the greats have their losses, because we were discussing, like, people's downfalls and stuff, and he was like, even the greats lose. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not a bad thing. And they're open to discussing that with me. They're like, yeah, it's not a bad thing, because you get back up. But if you don't, you're a loser. And they tell it to me straight, like, they've told everything. I think they've just always been straight up with me. And then every time they call me out, I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. I did feel like that. I think it's just family. Families keep me grounded. And so protecting that, I just need my family.
Yeah.
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 Who cares? It's not hurting my family.
Yeah.
Bar that show, because I was like, my family was all proud of me and supporting that. And so to tell them that it wasn't what it was, I was gutted. Like, I only told my mum like a year after.
And what did she say?
What it did. She backed me, yeah.
Yeah, good.
And she was, yeah.
Is your mum, was she born in Samoa?
Nah, she's born here.
Oh, I guess she's New Zealand.
She's so different from me. She's like little, girly, office lady. You can tell my uncles raised me because...
Well, we can tell because you're wearing gumboots.
Yeah, she's like flare cardigan. Well, I'm like this.
Gumboots, high vis.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Where did
that style come from?
I don't know. I went to Otahu and I bought a high vis because I was cold, and then I was like, I kind of feel cool. And so from then on, high vis and gumboots.
And where did gumboots come from?
Warehouse, bro.
No, I mean other than the warehouse. Like, where did the whole wearing gumboots, feeling comfortable in them, when did that start?
I just started and then didn't stop.
In your adulthood or as a young person?
In my young adulthood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love them.
And do you have a lot
take
of
them
people?
anywhere.
Okay, so it's just that you're comfortable in them.
Yeah.
I love that about you.
But don't you think that this fit goes?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Because at first I thought they were like dress boots. And then when I actually looked down, I was like, oh no, those are straight up gum boots.
I thought they were cowboy boots. But
I wish.
Because right now, everyone, you're wearing shorts and gum boots.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit cold. But that's your style. What's the mean style? Okay, so it's just, and you've just kind of kept that as is it like a brand, or is it just because you're comfortable in it?
Yeah.
It's like that statement. I don't give a damn what you think.
Yeah, I don't give a damn.
So coming back to my question, and I think you're kind of highlighting a lot of the answers around that, is how do you protect your critical thinking, How do you protect not being swayed easily by all of these movements that are happening around us, or, all of these things that media are sort of putting into our communities, is one, have good values, be really grounded in the messages and values you've grown up in, and also just be grounded in who you are. Is that?
Yeah. And just like, I think with love. And I think that's because of my grandpa. He loves everyone. He's like a social worker. We've had like every single type of person come to our house because they need a place to stay.
Really?
And they've stayed. And my grandpa's always the one to pray for them and then send them on their way or give them a place to stay. So always with love. Even if I disagree with people, I'm like, sorry, man, that's not my advice. Like, love you. And I reckon that, and you're okay. Like, I got to be okay with people having their thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're so fine to have that. If you want to be a victim, be a victim, right? It's like, that's all right. Okay, I'm just like, it's just, I don't want to be a victim, but you can if you want. That's okay.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel. I think because I've disagreed a lot of times with people, but I get that they don't understand me. And I kind of look at like racist people and I'm like, you just don't get us? So you hate us?
Yeah.
And like, what can I do about that? I'm not going to like drag you to Samoa and show you how to do a umu and show you everything's beautiful. Like that's, you can just be racist.
Yeah.
Everyone be racist.
Because how much, it's a lot of effort to try and change the way someone perceives us.
Yeah. That is a lot of hard work.
Yeah. And rather than, because we could either spend our energy trying to change their perspective to accept us for who we are, or we use the energy on ourselves.
Yeah.
And be comfortable in who we are, how we roll, and maybe, further those stereotypes that are out there.
Yeah.
Use them to our advantage. Yeah,
become them. Just be a stereotype.
Just join them, eh? You can't beat them, just join them. Just join them.
Use the stereotype to be the comedian. Yeah, that is the only female that's sitting there. Like, I reckon that's cool.
I think also that's like my fight where like I'll never leave behind the stereotypes. Ain't no way that I'll leave them behind. Yeah, it's like if my cousins can't come, I'm not coming. And so the best place for me is home. And so I think bringing comedy home makes it enjoyable. And man, if we're kicking down doors while doing that, then even better. That's a bonus.
Yeah. But do you think that might also limit you? Because you don't seem like a person that's easily boxed. And like, we don't want to be boxed by people who see us in the stereotypical view, but we don't also want to be boxed by not wanting to be separated from our own. Hey, I don't see you as that person.
It's weird because then I did shows at home at the same time I was doing shows at Basement. And I would do stuff like the backyard shows were like, haha, look at the backyard shows were like me lip syncing to Poetic. And then my basement shows were like me, okay, everyone grab a partner. And it was like, you had to pair up with, it had to be a brown person and a white person, and they had to pair up. And then they would have to tell each other their privileges, but not your own. You'd have to tell the other person's. Like, what do you think the other person's got on you? And then convos would come from that, and they'd be like, I'd ask the audience, and they'd be like, oh, so this guy told me that my privilege is having a family because Palangis aren't close off their family. And they were just like learning about each other. I was like, me, nay, we're like judging them and they got no family. Do you feel sorry for them? It was basically like, it was just throwing around like, let them have a turn at playing victim because it's so easy to do that. Like, and then I made them play charades where they like raced, but it was brown people versus white people. And so they were doing a charades race. And the white people were too scared to win. And the brown people were just being like they were just like taking over. Because it's easy to be the victim. But the white people didn't want to be great because they didn't want to be those guys that beat the brown people. So I went over to the white people and I was like, oi, beat them. Like, give her your best. Like, you don't want to lose? Give her your best. And then they started playing and then it became fun because they started seeing like, it's a match. Like it's if how do I say it? So the brown people, if they're playing that game and these guys don't want to play, that's an easy win. But because they started playing, these guys, they started talking to each other. We're like, "Oh, slow down!" And like then the banter came out, and then they started connecting. And I was like, "Look at that!" And then they would talk after, like they would come outside and talk in the bars. And I only did that kind of show because I knew brown people were coming, but I knew white people were coming. So I was like, "Oh, let me use them for my games." But I ended up like doing that. Because I even hate that in the industry, that I don't want to be just roasting brown people. I want to roast the best.
Yeah. Nice.
Like
I like that.
That's good.
That's like the craft, eh? It's like, you should want to roast the best.
Yeah.
If I lose to the best, I'm fine. Like, but if I lose to a victim, I'm going to be so mad. Like, if I lose because that's a victim, like, that's...
Yeah. Played the wrong game.
Yeah, that's the wrong game.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm playing against the best. Because then how do you go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And you have to really, would you say that, you know, it's a constant effort to not fall into that? Like it's a constant effort because, you know, we see a lot of, what I'm trying to say is you want to be the best person anywhere. You know, you don't want to just be the best brown person.
Yeah.
You want to be the best human being at their craft. Full stop.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's in the game. Just
Yeah, give me your best.
Yeah.
Like I want to verse the best.
yeah. I reckon that's cool.
Yeah, but just saying that, Bubbah, because I know just being the best. Have there been instances where you haven't been the best in terms of when people are like, "Oh, you got this, I'm gonna kill this set," rock up like, "Oh shit, no one's laughing."
Oh, shows wise, I don't know. Ooh,
Or do you just not notice it?
Or you just kill it every time.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Don't ask me, ask them.
But it feels like you have. It sounds like you're really you just gotta, like, you know how there's the book smart people, there's the street smart people. You just sound like you're people smart.
I think so. Well, so not smart. No, I think
You sound like
I
you're
grew up
really-
around a whole range of people. Like that was my blessing. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I grew up around a whole lot of people, and they've like the best thing they did was uplift me and also fuck mommy. You know, like, wait, it's the best way. Like,
It works in our favour in the long
yeah,
run.
for real. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, if they didn't do that when I was little, like I could be a serial killer.
How did you recover from those? Because, you know, there are some personality types, that when they experience that wha'ama stuff, that can
yeah.
traumatize them forever.
Yeah.
How did you, like what was your mindset when you got wha'ama'd, like you got shamed? What was your mindset to kind of recover from that?
I think because like I would get fucked mad, like I don't know if there's like people in the garage and I come out and do my little shows, I don't know, cartwheels, like coming when I was younger, and then I would get yelled at, like, get inside, stop showing off, and I'd like go inside crying, but I'd be like, how did they know I was showing off? It was true, so I was like, right, and like I never understood it until I was older, and I was like, oh yeah. When I saw other people showing off, I was like, ew. That's what they were saving me from. I think growing up, like, just more stuff makes sense.
So you really tried to understand it, eh?
Yeah, and I had to. I'm lucky that the men in my life, my uncles, always spoke to me after like the hiding, you know, like it was hiding and then it was debrief on the hiding.
Oh, cool. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Explain why.
Yeah.
lucky.
Instead of just hiding. And
That's so helpful.
Yeah.
And did they do that when they wha'ama'd you as well?
Nah, I knew.
Just from the
Yeah, it's so
debriefs
unspoken.
after
You
that?
know, all the stuff that's unspoken where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I don't know how I knew that, but I know it now.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so intrigued because you've got such a cool mentality. You've got such a cool mindset.
Oh, thank you.
No, you do. Like, you know, there are things that we have so many traps in life where you can fall into that victim mindset. And one of them is being shamed. And
Yeah.
some people will use that shame from their childhood to then go, oh, no, I don't do anything. Oh, no, and then they do that whole victim crap. Or
It's
victim
scary,
stuff.
It's
Victim stuff.
also it's quite like the thing to do at the moment,
Yeah.
which is scary.
And either and it sounds like to me from a very young age, you've never taken that on board. You've always just tried to understand it. You've used some of the debrief from your hidings. But you've also not wanted to accept it. Like it sounds like to me, you just did not want to accept that kind of thinking.
Yeah. And I don't know if I was doing it knew that I was doing that at the time. I think I never saw who was giving me a hiding as a villain. They weren't villains. I just knew when I was getting a hiding, yeah, I messed up. My fault,
Your
Yeah.
valley side
Yeah.
come out. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You really are a really interesting character.
Do you think that you're...
So why am I single?
I was going to ask you that.
single?
So let's ask.
I was going to ask you that, Bubbah. Why are you seriously? No, you're not single.
Yes.
How long have you
Why
been
is it?
single for?
Hey, maybe I'm just thinking because you were raised up with your uncles and your granddad. Maybe because you got a strong personality. I don't know.
Oi, hey, do you reckon?
I don't know. Maybe because
I don't know.
I don't know. Because you seem quite a strong individual.
I don't know. Ask these guys.
But I don't think that, guys, am I pretty?
You're pretty.
Well, actually, that's a good question. Do you guys go for pretty or do they go for personality?
Surely you got. No, I'm sure.
You've got an
surely
amazing
you have.
personality.
Yeah, you got a cool personality. I don't know.
Thanks, guys.
I don't know.
So why are you single?
I don't know.
Are you looking for a guy?
Yeah.
You're looking for-
Hit me up. Hit up Mandate.
Hit us up, man. No, serious, hit us up, man.
Do you have a type of guy that you're looking for? Like, have you tried?
Just alive, someone alive.
As opposed to just normally dead?
Is it because, are you the one that tries to approach them? Are you too straight up, maybe?
Nah. Oh, I'll approach someone if I like someone.
What do you say?
I've had my little gulks things, but
How do you approach them? Because maybe we might be able to give you some critique on your approach.
Maybe it's your banter. Maybe your banter. I think maybe.
I don't know.
You don't say, hey, fatty.
I say, hey, daddy.
Hey. Should put sugar in front. Need to put sugar in front.
Oh, daddy.
So, how do you approach them? Because do you think that scares them off, or?
No, I'll just be like, whoa, is this, should I get your number? And then I get it.
And do you call them?
Yeah, and then I text him, and then it goes, and then it gets boring. And then,
You get boring, or they get boring?
it just fizzles out,
Do you end up going on a date? What are you texting?
Yeah, I don't know what. I think it's because I'm too fit. People think I'm strong, in that way. But no, even in the industry, they're like, okay, how do you think you can calm down and work in a team? I'm like, how about if the team comes up? Because I always get told that, and I think it's because I'm a chick.
Yeah.
So calm down.
Nah, don't listen.
Yeah, they never tell the dudes to calm down.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you just haven't found your match.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you've got a high energy level, and you probably need that. Either you need another high energy level guy, or you need someone to maybe balance that out.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Well, usually it's the opposite.
Call in.
Wait, what are you looking for?
I thought you were talking to Kiana.
Okay, what am I looking for? Not much. Just positive attitude, willing to learn, able to love.
Man, what else can you ask for? Those are the key fundamentals. And a man, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He, him.
Me not be a tall man.
He, him.
He, him.
Cool, just be specific.
Bro, you're a hard case, man. Hard case. Well, you never know, Bubbah. Maybe after the show, after this airs, oh man, you're gonna get a flock of people.
I know.
Invite us to your wedding,
Oh
please.
my gosh. Yeah.
Straight away.
Do you like quiet guys?
I have in the past, yeah. My history makes no sense.
What do you mean?
It makes no sense, my dating history. It makes no sense.
Is it quite random?
Yeah.
Is it quite sporadic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Was
And I
it
don't
just?
know
I'll just
why.
try that.
Nah, I'm like, love him. I'm like, love him. Get his number.
Do you go off looks or do you go off personality? Like,
I think
what's
it's
the
like
draw
energy,
card?
eh?
Energy.
Yeah.
So are you seeing him from a distance or close up?
Like, okay, energy, eh? Just like,
Okay, so you start in the middle.
yeah.
Okay, so it's not even looks or personality, just
Nah.
energy, vibes.
Yeah. Just not like, via kama maffa. You know? I'm like, no.
Just fica mal
thanks.
cu, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that from you a bit.
So what do you reckon? Do you think chicks like, do you know, what about the alpha male? What are your thoughts on that?
Yo.
What's yo?
Like,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Yeah.
So what,
alpha
how do
male,
you, what is alpha male to you? Like,
someone who like can get up and, I don't know, makai.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
just has a
strong,
real-
kind of real
Yeah.
strong, yeah.
has a real authority.
But then also like the dude who's in the garage drinking. I'm like, I don't know which one.
Anything that's alive.
Hey man, yeah, no, I don't know. But I think you're going to be surprised.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I think I'm just busy.
That
Yeah,
could be it too.
I think I'm just career driven at the moment. That's my
Yeah.
joke that I'm single. But then you guys felt sorry for me.
But do you, actually, that's a really good point. I mean, do you even have time for a man?
Nah, not at the moment.
Nah, because what other things are you doing that's keeping you busy?
Yeah, what am I doing? At the moment, I'm writing some
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, and then just
Tell us
do
about
really
that. Like,
random
how did you
shoots.
get into that?
I think of shows, like writing comedy shows, like my stand up. Started loving that, and then Stallone and Dinah got me in and started training me to write for I Got You. I was like, wow, I really love this. That's really cool, writing for screen.
Are you a good writer?
Hopefully,
say?
because like,
Did you have to learn that, or is it just something that came natural to you?
I had to learn how to write down scripts.
Yeah.
Because my first few comedy shows, no script, just in my head.
Yeah.
I just knew the order of it. So I had to learn how to write scripts, and this is what happens. And because it's all conversations. Like TV is just them having conversations, and everyone has to learn something throughout every conversation. Like, oh yeah, okay, that guy's the killer. Okay, now they're gonna take him down. Okay, that guy. But people are learning that off just people talking.
Yeah.
So you had to learn how to write that into a script.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because there's a real art and science in it, eh?
yeah,
It's not something that you just in your head on paper. Like,
Yeah.
you really have to be intentional and connect all the dots. And so you got taught by Stallone and Dinah.
yeah. How
That's
to write
cool.
for the screen.
So have they been a big part of your journey too?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys get connected? And
Dinah, see again, she came to a show, and the show was like so out the gate, and somehow from that she auditioned me for Mama's Music Box, which was a Christmas movie. I was like, how did you watch that show and want me, like, how did you watch that show and then go, oh, I think you'd be great for this Christmas elf family movie?
wow.
But she's got the eye for it. And then I auditioned for that, and me and Una got it on the spot. So they went up and had a meeting and came back down and were like, the part's yours. And then from then on, they are a great example of like for the people. Yeah, they're like really for the people.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole mission and work.
Yeah,
And when you say for the people, they're all about sharing our stories
yeah.
in a positive light.
And their audience is family friendly as well.
Mm.
Because that's also its own like Tofinga and Dinah and them, they do it family friendly.
Yeah.
Where I don't.
Okay.
Like, I want to, like, that's why I'm glad to do those jobs. Like Mama's Music Box and that my family can watch, but other shows, I'll cap it at R16.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just if the topics are too heavy. But then in the backyard, I'll be like, guys, it's out the gate material. If you want to bring your kids, you can bring your kids. And so people bring their kids. you know, people who just expose their kids to that kind of
Yeah. And then you can explain it later.
Yeah. I'm like, that's on you.
Oh, your parents, blame the parents.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man. And so that's a really nice like growth area.
Oh, hell
for you,
yeah.
And so from script writing, what else have you got going on?
Just really random shoots. This will drop after Treasure Island, eh? Yeah, Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Didn't win a single game. Didn't do too well on there. But yeah, even that, like, I just am grateful because I like wake up on Treasure Island. I'm like, how did I get here? And also, what else I do? The Director's Lab.
Did you? Because I mean, sorry. Before we talk about Director's Lab, what was the biggest learning of being on a like a deserted island? Well, not really, but like on an island like that and having to survive. Like, what was some key learnings for you?
Like, not many people are poor because they don't know how to whawela the mea ai without an oven. And I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, my biggest learning was that I'm poor.
Because we have more survival skills.
I am from the ghetto.
So did you lead a lot of that?
Yeah. I was like,
So did you start the fire or that? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, they would have been grateful.
yeah. But no, I don't think that's a game for learning. That's just a game to play around thing.
But when all your like normal life routines and life resources are taken away from you, but then is it really like that, or is it just staged?
It is like that, yeah. So you only have rice and beans, and if you don't soak your beans, because they need to soak for 8 hours, if you don't soak them, you can't eat them that day. So we're just skipping meals because we would forget to soak the beans.
Oh gosh.
And yeah,
How many meals did you skip?
it's actual. I was lucky though because there was kina on the island, and I ate kina, but no one else did. So
Oh, that's
I
good.
guess I have kina.
It's nutritious.
Yeah. Oh fuck, kina's me though.
You really had nice skin by the end of that show. And so you did Detectives Lab?
Oh, Director's
Lab, sorry.
We're sweating well. I know that one as well.
sorry.
Yeah, Director's Lab. We do training through Massive Company, so they hire actors for you, and you get to work with actors and basically practice directing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they bring in directors and sound people, and you have meetings with them, and you learn off them. Massive's a training ground, right? It's the bomb.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
So you've gone from comedy, acting, script writing. Are you now moving into directing?
Ooh, hopefully, yeah. If I can get the script together, then I can move into directing.
Mean.
Yeah.
Because you're running for Shortland Street now, eh? Are you still running for them?
Yeah, no. So Shortland Street, I have an internship waiting for me over there, but because I kept getting jobs, so I can't commit. Shortland Street are locked in, so I couldn't commit. But it's there, yeah. Which I'd love to do one day when I'm available. It's hard, because you have to keep chasing jobs. As an actor, it's hard to commit to one thing that's so long term in case a big job comes up.
Yeah.
So it's it's a whole gamble. I think it's the best industry for me personally because it's got all the things I love. Gambling and creating.
Living on the edge.
Oh man, that's how it is, Bubbah. Hey, I just wanted to ask quickly, Bubbah, because just in case I forget, because obviously comedians, and they always have their top comedians that they look up to. And I looked at your one because you said you are a big fan of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And obviously Eddie Murphy back in the 80s, man, brilliant. And so what is it about Eddie Murphy that kind of, like, man, this guy's, he's the one. He's kind of like one of the guys that you look up to.
Because he's funny. Like, for real. You know, it's not a practice funny or free spirit, I think that's it, Free spirit makes him so funny. I think that's it. I think it's just that his spirit, that he's funny.
Have you gleaned anything from him, or you just kind of like, Because he's just funny. He's just...
I think also his character work, like his character, like Donkey of Shrek, you know, like all of that. That's my favorite Eddie Murphy. But like, it's just, I think he's charismatic, and owns the stage. Like, soon as he walks on, have you seen that one of the red suit, when he walks on? And just the whole crowd goes nuts. Like, he just owns the room, goes in and commands it. No apologies. That's like my favorite type of comedy. No sorries.
Yeah.
Just straight go there. But a lot of that stuff they get cancelled for now.
Oh, hard. They get cancelled
Yeah, what are your
now.
thoughts on
But
that?
that's my favorite era.
Yeah, I
It's the
love that.
bomb.
And so I guess the way around the cancel area is just to run your own shows.
Yeah. And
Clever.
and tell people don't bring their phones.
Yeah, very clever. Clever move, because you still get to be you. You still get to do what you want to do.
Yeah. And it's a hard thing to know what you get cancelled for and what you won't, because of the Western ideas of like, you can't say that, or like, you know, you can't mock that, or you can't. But if we're all doing it in our homes, I'm like, bring it out here. Right?
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
That's our norm in the home too. Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
It's not even bad stuff too. Like, I uploaded a video of my grandma telling me to lose weight, and someone replied, that's what that generation needs to unlearn, is body shaming.
Wow.
I was like, bro, it's not even that deep, and I have gained weight. Bad, eh? That's so bad.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean,
That's bad, crazy.
is there like a list of like cancellation topics like that you might know of in the media industry, and do they also apply to movies?
Yeah.
Really? So, like, as a screenwriter, are you given a list of things you can't say and refer to? And
No, but the convos are happening all the time about, you know, like, you can't. Brotown?
Yeah,
You know how, like, I love Brotown. That's still, like, one of my favorites. Brotown and Simpsons. Like, I grew up on Brotown and Simpsons. And that whole convo about Brotown because of the stereotypes and all of that. And I'm like, nah, I said that's my uncle, those are my cousins. Like, those aren't your stories to share, but if people have those stories, they should be allowed to share it.
yeah.
So I don't care. Everything that we see is a version of somebody, I think.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, where would we get the idea from?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, not that original.
Yeah, it's all from stuff at home and everything around you.
And how cool is it that they did it in an animation?
Yeah, I
Hey.
love Birdtown. It's the bomb. But there's been things about cancelling. Like, it was a bad thing. It was a bad thing.
Do you know
And-
who the movement was behind that?
No, but it's just like random convos where people are like, wow, they wouldn't be able to do it today because of all those kind of themes. And I'm like, I'd love it even if it came out
Yeah.
today. It's the bomb.
So from a script writing perspective, there aren't like you know, there are no formal guidelines around those cancel topics.
Nah.
There's not, eh?
It's just like, don't be a dick.
So it ends up. So I guess my point here is the cancellation stuff doesn't come from. There's no formal body that says you can't say this, you can't say that. It actually comes from a group of people that if you say it loud
Yeah.
enough, they get you cancelled. Like
Yeah.
that's crap.
It's one person has an idea and goes,
They shouldn't have said that.
guys, yeah, that's wrong. Wait, Birdtown's like, and then a whole other bunch of people come. And it's really bad of social media because it's quick to happen. That a whole mob can form online.
And then they
And
very
then those ideas go, like, get passed along. And then that's the wrong fight for me. It's like really
Yeah.
weird to watch that.
and you've taken away somebody's story.
Yeah.
Then I feel almost on top of that, it's going to hinder the artist. They're now going to be thinking,
Oh, yeah,
we
hard
can't
out.
even say this.
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't even think like this because we're going to
Yeah.
get cancelled. And so it's like now you're affecting the art itself, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what makes it art
Yeah.
in the first
It
place.
should be pushing boundaries, I think, to some extent. And
Yeah.
if we're just going to try and get everyone cancelled,
Yeah.
I almost got cancelled, I think.
When?
Because
From who? From just
I forgot about this. This was ages ago. I uploaded a video. So I did a show that was all about perspective. And it was just like, oh, how do I explain that? It was like, I just bulleted like a whole heap of topics at people, like a whole bunch of topics at people, but kept flipping the perspective on them so that they would go, oh, what? Like, so it would be like a bad idea and they're like, ooh, and then I would make it a good perspective, like somehow make it I can't explain it. It was a whole rush of things, and I would bring up bad out the gate stuff, and then the audience would go, oh, and then I'd flip it and be like, but what about this, if that was this guy's life? And then they were all like, oh, crack up. And so I did a whole round of stuff like that, and the opening line to that show was like, 21 got knocked, 21 what, but one got knocked. You know that drill song?
Yeah, 140.
Yeah, guess that makes them 20. So I was like, I walk out on stage, I'm like, 21 what, but one got knocked. Who got knocked? And then everyone's like, what is the answer? 21? 21, that's the answer. They were yelling out. And I was like, nah, Kobe Bryant off the helicopter. And then the whole crowd like started cracking up. But that's because they were in there, that they just started cracking up. And I uploaded that little ass video to my Instagram. And it went nuts, like a whole bunch. Even Islander dudes, they were the worst ones. They were in my DM like, F you, bitch. Like, if that was our family, Kobe's nephews were coming for me. They're like, F you, like, what if your family died? Like, what's your family? They got like really into it over that one thing.
Yeah.
And we're putting up polls like, she gets a show and now this is how she behaves. Like, but it was again another perspective.
Yeah.
Outside of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone that came to that show was commenting you had to see the show.
Yeah.
But people who didn't were like cancelled.
Yeah. Because they only see one little snippet and then make a judgment of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which goes to show that context is everything, eh?
Yeah.
So they only get the snippet and then just say, okay, and then just judge you for that one snippet.
That's one of the privileges you have as a comedian though, eh?
Oh yeah, to do that stuff. Like,
is that you can do that because in the world of comedy, that's the whole purpose of being a comedian, is taking some of these real life issues and giving it a different perspective, giving it a different context.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Reframing it. Let's have a laugh at it, because over here there's a whole heap of people that are...
Otherwise we're just going
but
to cry.
even my perspective got flipped, because then I saw like the wife and her interview and stuff, and I was like, wow, I shouldn't have done that joke. But I was new. Like that was like one of my first. That was my first show at Basement, and I did that. And then when I watched the interview of the wife, I was like, oh yeah, like she actually wouldn't feel nice hearing that, you know, using her husband in a joke. And so I also learned from that, and that was the power to learn. But if everyone cancelled me at that point, I wouldn't be able to learn. And wait, it was like drillers messaging me, like pretty well-known people. They were like, were going at me, like in the DMs, going hearty as. I was like, these guys rap about guns, and they're like threatening me. Really?
They
like,
got really bothered by it.
Shame.
No, but it's funny because that's super hypocritical. You're so right. They're saying you shouldn't be joking about that, and you're right. They're talking about like blasting the next neighbor, assassin up all these other gangs and.
But they got angry over that little Kobe.
Were you scared for your life?
No, I was having a little laugh, because I was like, this has upset you so much. Or like, I'm getting threatened, like, over the 7-second video. And over, like, and then some I did reply to, and I was like, sorry, brother, the show was about perspective. And like, then I explained, and some of them were actually like, holy moly, didn't think of it like that. Sorry, sis.
Oh, wow.
Because they're islanders too, like they gave me that courtesy, but some didn't. Some like went for gold, or put me on their stories, bashed me.
So do you think you've got to have hard skin for this sort of stuff too?
Or thick skin?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Oh, hard skin. Okay, only hard skin.
Why did you do that? Snap me out like that. Don't change the topic. But you must have pretty thick skin then, eh? I mean, do you have to have thick skin, or you're human as well, and this stuff hurts?
Yeah, I'm human. I think I got thick skin for that. Like I did after, when I watched the video of the wife, and I was watching one of her interviews, and that was like a while after that video, and I clicked in that moment of like, oh wow, like if she did see that little video, that would hurt her, you know. So I've never done that joke again, or like, I literally did it only for that show and for that purpose. But I think you gotta have thick skin anywhere. Like, yeah. I think you gotta have thick skin anywhere. Or like, my best thing for my little sisters, I think, is equipping them and knowing that the magic's inside, and trying to help them go like, don't let the outside change the inside, you know, like, don't let all those voices, I'm like, don't let those influencers, don't let those YouTubers, don't let those celebrities, because my sisters are like wearing eyelash extensions and stuff, like, and it pisses me off. I'm like, who's this guy? Oh yeah. And so I like just I like have a weird way of communicating with my sister. I'll be like, ooh, you don't need to do that. Like, that's my way of being like, you don't need that, or don't follow. Like, you're 14, mate. What are you doing with eyelashes? Yeah. So I do at home, like, I have thick skin and I try to pass that on to my sisters.
Because it sounds like you're quite protective, obviously, with your sisters, you just mentioned. But what's the age gap between you and your sisters, since you're the eldest?
22, 18, 14, and 9.
So they must, obviously you said you're the black sheep, but I can guarantee they probably look up to you and you've taught them a bit about life. But what's the relationship with all three of them?
I feel like I act like the youngest. I'm like, bring it in, guys, big high. And they're just like, ew, get off me. I think because I'm vocal, because of like, you know, I'm pretty vocal. I'm like, love you guys, love you, like, love what you've done with your hair today. And they're like, ew, get lost. So they're like quite like hard themselves, but also they're the iPad kids. Yeah. So they have all of that influence, and that scares me. Like, that's a secret fear of mine, is that they have they're iPad kids, and so they grow up influenced, you know, and like following all of the internet stuff.
Because what is the with them? Because I've never heard that phrase before, iPad kids. Because, you know, with every generation that comes into the new school, high school, like, yeah, they always give them like a name. Like, they'll say, okay, we got the P kids coming in. I'm like, what? We got the screen kids coming in, now the iPad kids. Like, there's always a generational name for kids, especially when you're working with teachers who've been in that space for 20 years or something, and they're kind of seeing a difference in these kids, and they're trying to put some understanding around it. So the iPad kids, what is the fears around the iPad kids? Because I'm hearing influences, and because of all these different influences and the amount of time they spend on screens, like, what should we be fearing?
It's scary because I'm like, and they must think I'm crazy, but I'm like, because every moment is like a phone moment, every single like breathing moment, or like if they're like, oh, something's gonna happen, their like phone is out, and so like I'll be doing something and then they go to record it and I'll just stop. And like I've been doing that for so long, and they must think I'm dramatic, but I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it if you're not gonna be in here for real. Like, so I don't know, I think I'm scared of them not living in the moment, or them not. Also, the influence culture. That's why, yeah, that's a personal thing for me. I won't become an influencer because I don't want to teach people to follow me. Like, even with my work, I'm always like, this is me though. Like, you guys do you. Don't follow this. I mean, I'll help you, but I'll never influence you. Like, when I help people, I make sure that they're beside me. Like, let's learn together. I never teach them or be like, this is, because what do I know? Oh my gosh. So yeah, there's the whole thing of them getting influenced easily, not being in the moment, and just being glued to their phones. You know, all that Black Mirror stuff. I don't know if you guys watch Black Mirror, but that stuff, isn't that crazy? Because everyone's like, oh, all those futuristic stuff. And I'm like,
I don't know about futuristic.
Pretty happening in the now.
A little bit documentary.
What is
straight up? It's a documentary.
What is it?
Is it the series A?
Yeah, Black Mirror. It's a. they are set in like futuristic times, like random societies, like world days, or like futuristic times where the world has changed a certain way, so it's become like all of these people. There's an episode where it's my favorite one, where they get the prime minister to the very first one.
Pig?
Yeah.
Oh my
that's my favorite episode. It is for me, I'm like, I get it. It's so layered because he. Oh man!
So the show,
I know,
so the show usually
is
is just. It's about our relationship, mankind's relationship with technology, and just how there's the dark side of technology that can affect our lives in a negative way. The first episode, I mean, I can't remember. It's like there's a guy that, what is he? I think he has like the prime ministers or presidents.
He's the prime minister. The prime minister gets waking up. Yeah, gets waking up in the middle of the night, and he's like, I have you. I think it's his daughter.
His daughter, or something like that.
I've got your daughter hostage, and I won't release her until you have sex with a pig online.
On like live,
online,
and if we don't, then
so it just gets really
gross. But the thing, I know it sounds bad, but the thing,
wait for it.
What happened
Spoiler
to
alert.
What happened to $1 million?
No ransom.
No,
Have sex with a pig. Sheesh.
but
On live TV in front of everyone.
And you know the pig is the worst animal, eh?
Yeah,
Like that's like the
The I will never forget the shot when it walks in. You walk into the room with the camera, and you just see the pig there eating, and there's the prime minister walking up, and he just feels sick because you know he's gonna have to have sex with this pig, otherwise his daughter's gonna die or whatever.
No, but
that's not even it. That's not even it.
What's it?
It's like,
What is it? It was on live TV.
so everywhere was empty. Like the whole streets everywhere was completely empty because everyone's watching their TV because they want to see if he's actually going to have sex with a pig. And there's people like, oh, you don't want to go too long because then it's going to look like you're enjoying it. And then you don't want to go too far. So it's disgusting. I think it's half an hour before it happens and before he goes live, he releases the girl. So she's in the street.
Wow.
And if they had just actually not all been glued onto the screens, none of this would have happened. So it's like, there's heaps of episodes that just tackle different parts of society, different parts of technology, but
please just watch that one. It's so
the first one. You will be disgusted.
he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, but what you're highlighting here, and thank you for sharing that, because I think what we're hearing is, like social media, YouTube, all of that, like the content creation is going to another level. Before it was just go online. Now it's go online and do something that's going to make you stand out in the crowd. And make your voice stand out of all the noise that is out there. So it's almost like you have to get real. Is it vile? Is that the word? Like what's the word?
Yeah, vile could be vile.
Like you have to get real vulgar and disgusting to be able to really stand out. Is that what your fear on the Black Mirror sort of like?
So he has to have the sex with the pig for the live, right? But because everyone's on their phones and social media is like that, just big thing that everyone's on. The public goes crazy. So it goes to like public view and the public are like, he shouldn't have to do it. That's stupid. Like it's ridiculous because, so he's like, it's ridiculous. He shouldn't have to do it. Everyone's like, he shouldn't. And then the countdown, the hours start dropping and it gets closer and he's like, hey, why is he not? They're like, he's got to fuck the pig now. Yeah. Like, so many people are getting angry at him. They're like, he needs to fuck the pig to release her. Like because she's a princess. She's a princess, yeah. She's the Duke's daughter or something. And so everyone hounds him. They abuse him. Like the entire world is on their phone. Like, you've got to do it. And his wife at the time is like, you can't do this. Like, and so it's breaking apart their marriage, but they can't show that into the public. But the public's like, he's got to fucking do it. And so then he ends up doing it. But then the guy releases the girl half an hour before. So anyways, they could have caught her. But also, once he does it, he becomes the public's favorite guy. Like the public is like, yay, amazing. And it's a shot of him and his wife holding hands, like saying hi to everyone, living their best life. As soon as they go inside their house, they close the door and the wife lets go of his hand. So the whole public broke apart a family. It's so laid because they broke apart a family. They did all of that stuff. You don't need to put this in. I'm just fucking.
It's cool.
Yeah, so they break apart a whole family. And they're okay with that because he did the pig. It's so layered. It's so like, you have to watch it.
Yeah.
But if the public view changes from the very beginning, they're like, no, he doesn't have to do it. So they're on his team, so he's he's okay. As soon as the whole public changes, and they made it their issue, like they destroyed that man. Yeah, they destroyed him. They destroyed him in that whole. They destroyed that man and his family and his baby. All but he did well because he followed them. Yeah, he followed the public view. But would you rather the public view or a happy private home?
Yeah.
You know, like...
And that's where we're going today,
yeah.
Because everyone's really dependent on what the public opinion is to almost shape who we are.
Yeah. That's what scares me about iPad kids.
Yeah.
It scares me really bad.
And even I heard you say, because they're easily influenced. And that's scary too, because that means this generation that's coming up of the iPad kids, then they don't know who they are.
No.
And so when we talked earlier about, getting trapped into these movements, and again, to try and figure out, like, how do you protect who you are? Well, you got to know who you are first. And if you're in that kind of world, you're not going to.
Yeah.
Like you said, because obviously, you can stand on your own, Bubbah, but for those who are not strong and in terms of whatever values they have, beliefs they have, they're just going to follow the masses, eh?
Yeah.
They're just going to follow everyone else.
Scary part of it. Like, and I don't want to be that crazy guy, but I'm crazy. I'm like,
a rabbit hole.
I'm like, get the iPads off the kids, like, but only because of that reason. Like, but I think as long as people just figure out what they're feeling like inside, like, for real, what are you feeling inside? Like I get up and I look at my dog and he's eating his ass, like, and I'm like, that's beautiful. That's like, it's so simple. Nah, it's so simple. Just like his mum. Nah.
Get away.
Is this one of your shows in the backyard?
That's one of your requirements for.
She's looking, guys. She's single.
No, but I'm like, that's how simple life is. Like, that's it. Like, he's having the time of his life, my dog, and then I look around and I'm like, I got curtains, I got, like,
3D.
Yeah, I got clothes, I got a blanket, like, like, I'm grateful for that, and I just focus on that, like, what makes me happy? Yeah, these curtains, cool curtains, yeah, sliding door slides, what? Amazing. And that's, I think, just celebrating. I know it's annoying because, like, even people are like, why are you always happy? And it's not happy. I think I just, even pain, like, it means I'm alive. Like, when I go through stuff, I'm like, amazing. We get to be in this together and share this. Like, when that global shutdown happened where all the cards weren't working, I was like, man, guys, community. Like, look at all of us, our cards aren't working.
We don't need money.
Yeah.
Everything's free today.
Yeah.
So
grateful.
you reckon that's going to be lost? Human.
I don't know because I can't tell the future, but there's just a chance that it could. Yeah. And that's what scares me. So I would rather not participate in that. Yeah.
And so that Black Mirror's episode that you talked about kind of gives us a bit of a picture of what future might look like.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And all the Black Mirror episodes,
I'm going to watch that.
And it's just like based on like everyone's performing, eh? Like there's no like reality. They don't know what reality is. And they lose touch with themselves.
That almost feels like you're like on a like cocaine high all day.
Me personally?
No, like like if you're,
I am on cocaine.
No, like that must be like, that would be true form of an addiction. A person who's addicted to something, and if you're addicted to like screens and you're not in touch with reality, you're not in touch with yourself, like you're on constant high the whole time because you're not even in touch with yourself. And if you're performing because you're getting these dopamine hits from all the accolades and the feedback and the comments, that you're now just thriving on that all day long. Like that can't be that must really shut down your system.
Yeah, and I don't think that they realize it because they grow up on it. So it becomes their norm.
I wonder if that's the way, you know how they keep talking about AI robots?
Or even that scares me.
Do you reckon this might be how they're going to form AI robots, is that the human being becomes a robot?
Yeah.
You lost me. You can have that content. You can have that content.
I was probably like, yeah.
I think that's brown mirror.
You know I'm onto something. What are your thoughts on AI?
Man.
I'm like, all good. Because everything's the same. It's all useful, but it just has that whole element of it could be used for bad.
Yeah, too much
And that's
of it.
the scary part. But see, people won't give it up. Because if you realize that AI, that they can make any kind of video of you, like, and think about adult movies and your face on there. And they could put your grandma's face on there.
Shit.
And they could, like, you know,
they can,
it's like things like that.
That's not a cool image, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's
That's not a cool image of your mother's face. Sorry.
that's
not a cool
broken mirror.
image.
Broken mirror. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys, you're sick.
Not the grandma's face one.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Traumatized.
But that's scary.
No, but that's the danger of it. And if people are not willing to, they're like, no, we'll still go ahead with it. Then I think that's an issue.
Yeah, losing our morals.
Yeah, like if you're willing to risk that bad, but that's not that's not a good enough risk for me. That's not.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No.
Jeez.
No,
But how
it's not.
would you combat that? In terms of, obviously, because you're on social media, you're on the public platform as well. How would you, being in comedy and acting, how would you combat all of that? Because people are watching you as well, Bubbah.
I've just come back to social media, so I take like year-long breaks. I only come back when I need to promote something, which is my show that's coming up. So once that's done, I'll be off.
Wow.
Good on
I didn't
you.
know
Yeah.
that. Well, that's cool.
Good on you.
Yeah, I like came back not so long ago, and then you messaged me like a week after I was back online.
Mean.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you just stay. I mean, you just keep on, because you're performing in these different spaces. You just respect the character that you're promoting at the
Yeah.
time, and then keep your personal.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's awesome. Great
You stay
boundaries.
true. You stay true to who you
Hey,
are.
but don't listen to anything that I've said today because I might change my mind tomorrow, and that's okay.
Hey, I like that. But did you ever think in those first early stages when you put yourself out there that all of this would be an outcome of it?
No. I just had a goal. Like, I was like, okay, I want to try and make this a thing. And then it started being a thing. And then I was like, okay, my one goal is to work with Oscar Kitely. And then I got to work with him. And so maybe I need to set some new goals.
That's mean.
Yeah.
That's so mean. And then from there, doors just started to open. I mean, Batia had shared with you who had recommended that, you as a new guest for us. And these are some pretty high profile names, eh? Like
A lot of them. Yeah,
Tofinga.
Tofinga.
Dave.
Yeah, Di Hillwood as well. Ed Ribera, yeah. So
I mean, most of those guys are big names, and they're all familiar with your work.
Oh, they're the bomb too. They're so good. Yeah. They've welcomed me in with open arms, Yeah. Especially Tofinga.
Yeah.
Oh
How
man,
did
that was me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
that
was
was
that?
my
How was
other
that one?
goal, was him as well. That was a mean blessing. I got a text. Do you want to open for Tofinga? It was like tomorrow, and I was all the way out in Hawke's Bay, being una vale. And then I was like, okay, I'll come home tomorrow. And that was when I bought my puppy. So I came home. I raced all the way home, and I got there like 10 minutes before they were opening the doors. Like I was late, and I had a puppy, and the whole the whole, all the venue people were like, you can't bring in your puppy. Do you have anyone to give him to? I was like, no. And then I was like panicking, like, oh my God, I don't think I can come in. And then Tofinga walked past, and because I have a Rottweiler, he was like, yeah, but it was a baby puppy. I just given birth. So I was holding my puppy, and Tofinga walked past and was like, oh my God, and took the puppy. And it was because his mum had passed like the week before, and she had 3 Rotties. It was like full, yeah. And then he was like, oh my God, and like took him in. And then from then on, he was like, we just connected off that. Like, I think my dog got me in, but he straight away took me and my dog in, and then took us to the room and was like, do you want to say a prayer? And then, yeah, we did a prayer, me, him, and his wife, and my puppy. And then after that, he's always encouraged me, and just been like, yo, you're mean. And I was like, you're mean. And then I would bump into him at like out in the city, and he's always been like, you're gonna kill it, you know? And I've always done that way. I was gonna say something, but I shouldn't say it, because we sit backstage and we're like, they suck. Cut that out. You can't say that.
We'll keep note of that. It's cool that you guys are able to just have those kind of conversations. Wow, that's so inspirational.
Yeah, we just bonded off my dog, and then straight away, he just became like a industry uncle. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
So do you just kind of set these goals? Like when you set these goals and say, I want to work with this person, I want to work with that person, do you like write it down? Do you say it out loud? Like, do you have a process around that? Or do you just think it?
Once it's in my head, like, I know that's my goal. Like, I know what I want to do is, like, with Oscar Kiley, I've always wanted to. I like read Oscar Kiley's plays, like when I was in school. Yeah, so I knew that I always wanted to work with him. And then I got to work with him on Duck Rockers, and he was amazing. He was the bomb. And you know they say like never meet your heroes, but that's one hero. That's the man. Like him, Tofinga, Diane Henwood. Yeah, all those heroes have been like actually been the bomb.
Wow. So you've just thought about them, and is it that you just think and you know it's just going to happen?
Oh, and heaps of prayer.
Oh, good.
Yo.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you a reader? Sounds like you. Are you
Nah.
a reader? No. Oh, so you just read those play scripts?
Yeah, just those ones. Just the Oscar Kiley. Not a reader. I read a play of his, and I really liked one of the characters, and so it was because one of his characters, one of the lines was, brown M&Ms are proven aphrodisiacs. Because it's the characters picking out all the brown M&Ms because he's just like Samoan hard. His name was Samoa, and he was like Samoa to the death. And so when I read that character, I fell in love with it. Yeah, and then I performed it.
Wow.
Oh, what?
Oh my
In my
God.
school. No one asked. And I really performed it.
Oh my gosh, I love that you're so free spirited. Would you say that you are?
Yeah.
You have to be. You have to be.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. You want to make sure that is what you are, because you might describe it as something else. But I think it's your whole artwork is just beautiful. I love how you just.
Thank you.
You just are yourself. You're very
Thank you.
authentic, very genuine, very honest.
Yeah.
My whole family
Transparent.
says it's annoying.
I think that's why you have the success that you have, is because of those very qualities, those very characteristics.
I don't know. You got anything lined up for overseas? Any other things that you're thinking of pursuing, or any ventures? Or would you like to go overseas?
Yeah, I think my dream would be to go, because New Zealand's quite small. So,
It sure is.
I mean, once you start doing things, you kind of want to branch out. I'd love to go to Australia and go to Australia's hoods
Oh,
and go do backyard shows over there, you know? Like,
I should do a show Mount Druitt.
oh, hell yeah. Oh my gosh.
have you thought about that already?
Yeah, I think so. I've been thinking about it.
Mount Druitt?
Yeah, I just haven't, like,
Found the venue.
you know, like, no, I haven't started pursuing it.
Have
But
you got family
It's
there?
in the back of my head. Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
nice.
Because it'll be easy to just chuck up a backyard show.
They'd all
Yo.
come. I reckon they'd all go. It'd be refreshing to have a female comedian out there.
Yeah, like Karen was saying, I just love it that you just do it. care. You don't care. You just go wherever the wind blows. You just go, and you accomplish it. Man, and it takes a lot of courage.
I think everyone does it, eh? Everyone does that. Like, does what they want to do.
No.
But they haven't honed in on it yet.
Like you do?
They haven't, like, identified it.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Do you think even when they do identify that they do it?
Well, like, what, when they...
Like, when they know what they want to do you think people still are able to do what they want to do? Because you just said that. Most people do that. Do you really think most people do that?
Oh, you got me.
Yeah. I think you're one of a
maybe,
I think you're one of a kind. And when you have some of these legends that are describing you as innovative, creative, daring, courageous, like doing what you're doing, that's next level, man. That's pretty inspiring.
Thank you, guys.
That's really inspiring.
No, that's so true, Bubbah, because you showed me that clip on your phone. I was like, what the heck? Because all this time I was thinking, you must be just kind of like small people, get a lot of, not too many people coming in. And you showed, I was like, what the heck? It's like a bloody concert. I was like, what is this? Like, who does this?
And you're not, like, we see your ads on the tuna ads.
From Tuna's, yeah.
And the thing is, just your whole character there. You know, the way you present that, like, everybody, you have people laughing. You've actually changed the whole car industry from your ads. But again, the way you present yourself is, people are intrigued by that. And for us to have you here today and share your story, I think we're so privileged to be able to hear who you are as a person.
Thank you. You guys have done the same thing. Look around like this. It's so cool, eh?
I don't know.
Love yous.
No, it is.
Big fan.
We're just, I think we're even more of a bigger fan of you right now. Just because, I don't know, people can see on the outskirts and you say, oh, this is what this person looks like on the screen or whatever on social media. But it's meeting you in person and just hearing your story and just snippets of your story, your journey. Man, you're the real deal. It really is. You're the real deal. You're just not one of those, okay, just come do funny clips, whatever, or get up and do comedy. You're the real deal. And it's more than just comedy. It seems like it's more than just comedy. No, hold on, Bubbah. It is. And I'm just saying it because you are. Because I don't know many people who just, I don't know individuals who, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing in the backyard and just, man. And then you have gangsters, people get all over, bringing people together, the Palangis and Islanders together. And you're doing this. And you're not a victim. You don't play the card, oh, woe is me. You just do it. And you are authentically yourself. Who wears gumboots in winter and
I knew you were judging. I knew that's what you asked.
shorts. Like, it's a friend. This chick is, you don't care, like, man. And I love that. I love that you don't care, and you're just who you are. And that's what makes you special, sis.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been so. I mean, I've really enjoyed this interview. I just think, you know, we were just, I think, as we started to learn a little bit about you with the little scattered pieces of information that was out there online about you, it was still it was still pointing to you being quite a unique person. But we were just saying this afternoon before you came on that we feel like there's a bit of a renaissance happening with this generation of like the,
what's Renaissance?
like there's a bit of a like
it's Renaissance.
it's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like a
What you're doing.
revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah,
in
it's like a change that's happening, but the change is all different. It's not like the change when you had all these like big artists back in the day that were doing all these massive revolution in art. But it's almost like there's a wave that's pushing our generation this way, and there's the likes of yourself, the likes of Beulah, the likes of Samson, some of the guys that we've interviewed
Therese,
that are kind of just going, hey, don't be too quick to jump on that wave. Like just hold. Let's just hold. Look around. Let's just take a bit of a snapshot of where this is going, where we've come from, and who are we right now. Like there's an interesting wave there's the interesting thing that a handful of you guys are doing. And whatever it is that you guys do to sustain that, like, protect it. Protect it. And share that with everyone else. I think.
So everyone you've named, we protect each other.
Cool. So you guys
Cool.
you guys are a group and you guys are a community, and it shows that the conversations are the conversations are being done in this particular group, and it's quite powerful. It's so powerful, and it's so needed in an era that's moving really fast down a really scary pathway. And so I really want to acknowledge the group of friends that you guys have and the connections that you have, because you guys are doing a good thing and you're communicating some real powerful messages. So yeah, it's been such a privilege to learn off you guys.
Thank you. Likewise, I was so nervous to come here because I was like, Mandy? Mandy wants me?
You were just awesome. And I think the cool thing about it, Carol, is that, and Brad, you guys have taken it to a whole new level. You take it to a whole new level, and that's what we want to see. You just take it to a whole new level. And so, man, all the best with future shows and endeavors. Can you, give us a segue in terms of the new show that's coming up.
It's going to be in a car park. And
why in the car park?
It's in the car park because a lot of people come to the shows, the backyard shows, but they're not theatre goers. So I'm tricking them to come into theatre by putting it in a car park.
And you run out of space in your backyard.
Yeah, run out of space in the backyard.
When?
And where?
We don't have a date yet. We need to wait for that venue, lady.
Oh, where?
Westfield, Mannix.
And
Underground car park.
And you got other people joining you?
Yes.
Are you able to drop their names?
Yeah. Tofinga. Dai.
Dai.
Celeste Freitas. Who else should I put in there?
Who else is?
Do they all have to be comedians, or do you want some artists?
It's
Like
a
rappers?
comedy. Oh, I would love rappers. Love rappers.
Are there any ones that have a little twist?
I don't know.
Who's a comedian you guys want to
Who's a
see?
good comedian?
Charles Mulipula.
Charles.
Steven Setu.
Oh,
Wait, who said that?
Would you consider him? Would you consider him? Yes. Oh, you said as a no.
Wait, actually, I would. No, wait, he's under the heat for some really bad thing.
Yeah.
This might be one way to recover him.
Oh, jeez, yeah. I don't know.
That might bring tickets, though. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, or the miners will show up.
Probably A minor.
Nah, what about my aura?
Hey, you're being honest.
Okay. Yeah.
And talking about comedy, I had a question. This is something I've been thinking about for years now. But I don't know, and hearing about comedians and I've always kind of held the belief, I don't know if you do too, that like with comedy, there's nothing off the table. You can joke about anything.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, so I mean, for sure, I feel like that's the case. Although, man, I feel like if I was to go up, I just couldn't I couldn't joke about the savior. Like I just couldn't, there's certain things for me personally, I couldn't, I don't know, if nothing's truly off the table, how do you feel? Is there anything that is really not off the, how you, sort of the learning you had after the Kobe Bryant incident, you kind of said after seeing that, you felt kind of bad seeing the wife and just her interview, and you're like, man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But just in thinking about nothing's off the table with comedy, you can joke about anything. Can you really, truly joke about anything? And is there a line? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I think there's no line. I did learn not to, for myself personally, I was like, oh, I probably won't, joke about that. But if I found a way where she would laugh too, I'm trying it. It's nothing's off the table.
Say she was in the audience and you hadn't thought about how that might have offended. But say she was in the audience on that day and you'd already had your mindset on this. How would you have adapted that moment?
I would have went for it first.
Yeah. And then what would you have done to adapt? If you could see on her face oh, that didn't work. What would you have?
Oh, if it didn't work in the moment.
Especially
because
you realised in that moment, oh, I shouldn't have dropped that one. How would you have manoeuvred around that?
And she became a heckler.
Oh, what an ad.
Scrapper?
Because you seem to me, like I said earlier, you seem to me that you're quite people smart, and you in the moment will have some content, but you're not. You just know how to wrap it around. So take that scenario there, because you're saying there's there's no topic that's off the table. You have that moment. She's there. How do you maneuver around that? Like, how do you, as a...
That's the beauty of comedy,
I know.
is you have to.
What would you do?
I don't know, be like, sorry. To be honest, I'd be like, I thought that was gonna work. I'm stupid. Why did I think that was gonna work? Yeah,
so you just call it out.
Yeah, honestly, call it out. Sorry, man. Move on. If I, in the moment, can find a joke to go with it,
Yeah.
boom, double hitter. But at first, I'll be like, sorry, girl.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, Ness. Sorry about that, Nessa.
I just want to highlight the brilliance of these comedians, like the way you guys
hard
can on the wit, man. You guys can
Improvise,
just
eh?
yeah, the
Improvise.
improvisation
Just,
is
man.
It's a
crazy.
game. It's like a sport. It's like someone throws hecklers. I love it. So some comedians, it's no hecklers, or they'll ignore them. I love them. Like, when they come out, I'm like, oh, okay. And your dad. We'll say your dad next to you. He's ugly. You know, like,
Do you have a lot of hecklers
Do you have
in your
do you have
session?
them or no?
I have them because they know who I am. So
Oh, and
they love to heckle.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a dude call out stuff, and then I've got because he knows what he signed up for. You know what you sign up for when you heckle, and so I've got him to stand his missus up, and the audience rates her.
Oh.
What did he say to get you to do that?
I can't remember. He did something, and then I was like, "Stand your missus up, wait, stand your missus up." And because it was giggles, like it's never because it's Islanders, we're never laughing at each other. We're always laughing with. And I remember she thought she was like. Because I was like, nah, she has to stand up now. And then she like stood up when we were like 4. And then everyone started cracking up. But it's just like, it's a mean game, way. Like, it's a mean, like, cool ass game to play.
And in that space, you can do that.
And that stuff was all off, like,
Off the cuff.
yeah. That's all.
Man.
Those are the best ones, eh?
Yeah. And that's just because he yelled out, like, and then I was doing jokes about window washers. And this guy got up and he was like, I'm a window washer. I'm like, yeah, you are annoying. Yeah, it was a meme. It's just it's so cool.
And what did he do?
No, he cracked up too.
Yeah.
Like it's
almost like he wanted
Just
the
banter.
attention.
Yeah,
eh?
just banter. Just banter.
Like everyone's in on it. Like no one's if they heckle, then I can heckle back. But they also love it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the difference between Palangi and brown audiences. Is when I'm with brown audiences, we can go for it. Like,
That's what makes it
Yeah.
fun. Have you had any from none from the white audiences?
nah,
No.
always it's always brown audiences, and like they can come at me too. Like we can go back
Yeah.
and forth.
You should try heckling at a white comedian's session. Just to flip it.
I have.
And how did that go?
Nah. Oh, that's not a good look for me. I have
Okay.
good. But not because they're Palangi. Like I just like.
No, I'm
I
not
was
saying
answering
that's
their
why.
questions. Like they're like, is everyone all good? And I'm like, nah. And they just ignore me.
Oh, they ignored it. They didn't come for it.
Oh my god.
With that stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I love pulling at that, but I've never done it ever since that night because I realized what I think is fun. It's not everyone's fun, you know. Like, yeah, because they might feel like I'm laughing at them when I'm laughing with them, but only a brown audience we understand laughing with all the time.
Yeah. I think I've seen some of those ones on YouTube, where you've had like some of those hecklers and some of the comedians' shows, and some of those comedians go AWOL, like they go
Yeah.
AWOL, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you must have been so scripted.
Yeah, because they either ignore them or like rip into them for being rude.
Yeah, and then they kick them out, and oh gosh,
Oh man.
not flexible.
But yeah, no, it's just no. Thank you so much. Because I'm conscious of time as well, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Every guest that comes on, we always get some insights, and I think what I got from tonight is that obviously you're authentic, but also I love that you don't care. You don't care in terms of feelings or emotions, but you don't care in terms of what people think about who you are. You got all those texts and those comments, but I love your resilience, and I love that you just keep going and just ballsy. You're just ballsy, man. You just go for it. And so for me, all the best in this year, but also for the future, because you said you're a star from the onset in the beginning, and I believe you are. You're a star.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Superstar.
No, yeah, superstar. You're a superstar, man. So no, all the best from, and thank you so much. Just appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
This is mean. I don't know if I was nervous.
No, I don't know what you did.
I killed it.
You killed it, man.
You always kill it, yeah. So
We got some gems tonight.
we got some gems.
Yay.
Yeah, and I just want to add on that just some of the key messages I got from you today that I hope future generations and our generation and older generations take on board is not to forget like who we are. You know, I think that's a massive grounding, and that's one of your protective factors. I love how you protect your privacy. And I think that's another important part of it, because we're so pressured to put ourselves out on social media and do all sorts of things, and hopefully we don't end up being put in a position where you're confronted with a pig.
Because I'll do it.
But I love how in the midst of your this is your working space, is the public, is media, that you are still very protective of your privacy, because in your privacy is where you recharge, is where you grow, is where you do what you need to do to stay super grounded. So thank you for sharing that. And just, you know, who surrounds you are these amazing men, your granddad, your uncles, your stepdad, and your mum, who sounds like an amazing woman. But you've got some really good support around you and your 4 sisters. And that, again, shows the importance of knowing that we have those supports, so we can go out there and just do what we need to do to I was going to say to bang it, to like, you know, whatever. What is the word? To kill it.
To pig it.
To kill it. So, no, thank you so much. You've shared so many gems tonight.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's been so awesome.
Yeah,
I feel really inspired.
Yeah, I know. But sis, we always have a gift. We always do. I always do a caricature, a cartoon.
I didn't get you guys anything.
No. You just be here. You just be there is more than enough. But we always do a caricature, a gift, or cartoon of how we envision you to be. And so this is on behalf of the Mandate team. Thank you so much, sis.
Shut up! Where did you get this from?
No, I draw these caricatures. Yeah. And so we always give it to our guests, yeah. So
I'll put this up next to my photo of my dog.
Oh man, but thank you.
Thank you
so much, Bubbah. Bubbah, is anyone you can think of that who would be ideal to perfect to come on the podcast? You think, you need to have this person on.
Oh, who's around me right now? Scotty Cotter, who's the director of Shortland Street. Second Māori, first Fijian.
What?
He's also the man. He's like a writer, director, actor. He's done it all, and he's still doing it constantly.
Wow.
Wait, and Sam Scott, our massive mum.
Yeah.
Yo, she's the bomb. She's got a mean outlook on life.
Do you guys all still connect with her?
Yeah.
Because her name keeps popping up.
Yeah,
so
Beulah, they're saying it now.
Because she's the bomb. She's just like, it's always about the work. And we understood that. And so we always knew that we were coming to a place to be great and like perform and make things. And she always held us to a high standard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is she from South Auckland too?
Nah, she's central based. And she's Palangi. But she just always chose like, no Salvation Army. She always chose the best things in the room. And so you always brought the best of yourself.
Oh, she's cool.
Incredible.
I want to meet her.
Yeah, we need
I want to meet her.
We got to get her, yeah.
She sounds awesome.
She's the bomb.
Oh, man. Awesome, Bubbah. Thank you so much once again. Bubbah, we always give our guests the last words. Any words of encouragement for the viewers or the listeners?
021, nah, jokes. I don't know, do what you want and just follow how you feel and love those around you. And if you don't want to love them, then stay away from them because that's hurtful. And be your best self.
Man, love. Thank you, sis. Please don't forget to subscribe, and we look forward to our comments. And as usual, Caroline,
Refine,
unlock,
and take charge.
Yeah, boy.
Mandate.